Hello. You know, I proclaim myself to be a druid, which is a form of pagan. And we have a lot of discussions on what it takes to be a druid. Now, see, to me, I have been doing a lot of thinking on this. And there is no one set standard, except for one thing, in my opinion, to be a druid. And that is to follow a Celtic oriented lifestyle, to accept and adapt Celtic principles into your life, to adapt and follow the Celtic deities in your life. Okay, in my opinion, you cannot be a druid and follow the Greek gods and goddesses. You can't be a druid and pray to Baba Yaga. Okay, it just won't work. Sorry about that. There was a bat up there. Um, like I was saying, it is about following a Celtic path because the Druids were the priests, well, priests of the Celtic world. In fact, if I could find it, I'll tell you what one book says. Here. This is The Complete Idiot's Guide to Celtic Wisdom. And what they say is the average person on the street may dismiss Druids as ancient tree worshippers, but historical evidence points out that this order as being far more than the world's first New Agers. The Druids were the intellectuals of Celtic society. They were the scientists, philosophers, lawyers, judges, mediators, psychologists, and theologians. Just as the warriors were the muscles of society, the Druids were the brains. Now think about that. To be a Druid is to accept a lot of responsibility. You weren't there just to have a ritual, which is a part of this, because, like it says theologians. But you are to help people. You are to be a part of society. So if you want to be a Druid, in my opinion, after reading this, you're going to have to decide that you want to do more with society. If you are going to be a solitary practitioner and be hidden up into your room, you really can't say that you're much of a Druid if you're not going to be the judge, and help people out. Okay? Now, Druids are the elite of the Celtic order. You've probably heard of the group Bards, Ovates, and Druids. Well, a Druid is the top tier of the three tiers. You first start out as a bard, in which you are the storyteller, the poet, the musician. You go around and you tell people stories and news. Now, an ovate, again, I'm going to use this book here to help out here. Perhaps the most mysterious of the three orders, the ovate can be seen as the spiritual descendant of the earliest shamans and the ancestors of modern-day psychics, diviners, counselors, and visionaries. The word ovate is related to the Indo-European word for mental agitation and prophecy, implying that this skill is related into entering altered states of consciousness through which spiritual information from the other world may be retrieved. So, okay, the ovate is step 2. It's harder because you must be able to communicate with the other side. You must be able to perceive omens, to feel vibes. If something feels wrong, you should be able to detect it. Okay? Now, a Druid, to many of the accounts that I have read, is supposed to be a 20-year ordeal. So you can't just read a couple history books and a book on Druids and just say, I'm a Druid. No, no, there's a lot more to it than that. Now, the one thing that I've been trying to do, and this takes a lot of time, but if you are really serious in being a Druid, you're going to have to do this. And that is, you have to devote time into learning, into studying. I have a few history books, and I am reading them. I am currently reading a book called the Atlas of Celtic History. A very interesting book. I am also trying to learn about certain people. I made a list of my 10 most influential people, the 10 most evil people, the 10 greatest artists, your 10 best of various topics, and I researched them. Van Gogh, he's an amazing artist. He was on the list. And it's by learning about these people that you learn about these time periods. You learn more about history. You understand more about the world around you. And the sole purpose for us is to learn. We are the educators. We are the brains of Celtic society. Okay? So what you need to do is get your pen and paper, and you got to write down what is important to you. Are you willing to spend the time that it takes to research, to learn? Okay? So, got a lot for you to think about there. Talk to you later. Okay?